As I said, it is the first one, so it might not go according to plan, but we'll give it a go. So for this one, I'm going to show you how to stamp onto a candle. So you will need a candle. Any candle will do. Your chosen stamp. I'm going to do the sunflower. You're going to need a tissue. Any tissue will do. I'll just pop one out. Some Memento ink. Your heat tool. Hope you can see that. Some scissors. Some wax paper. And of course you're going to need your Chameleon pens. So, we'll just get started. So take a tissue and lay it out flat. It doesn't matter about the creases because the wrinkles will come out when we add the heat to them. And I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to attach it to the block. And we're just going to ink that up, just like you would normally, as though you were stamping onto a piece of card or paper. Get a good dollop of ink on it. There we go. And I'm going to try and get it sort of central, just so I don't have too many creases. As I said, it's not going to matter too much. So there we go. I'm going to press down. I'm going to press down quite hard because it's tissue. We kind of want it to penetrate a bit through the tissue and make sure that all the ink goes through. Moment of truth. Ah, it's not too bad at all. Fab. Put the stamp back. And I'm also going to choose a sentiment. And I'm going to do this as a thank you. So this one says, thank you for everything. And I think I'm going to cut it in half actually. And I'm going to have one half coming up here and one down there. So I'll just grab that with the acrylic block, ink these up, and stamp them in place. Brilliant. Now we can set these aside. Let's pop them out of the way just now. Don't know about you, but I have never got enough space for anything I do in my craft room. And as soon as you clear the space, you very quickly fill it again. So I'm going to choose to do the Seville Orange. This one here. And I'm going to use the bullet nib, and I'm just going to fuse it for about 6 seconds. And I'm going to start from the top of the leaf, and I'm just going to come down. You're not going to see too much of a graduation because as it is, it's tissue, so it's quite porous. But you still see a little bit. So I'm just going to repeat this process along. I've blended that one a bit too long, but what you do is you just stay on the area. If you do that, if you blend out too long, you can just stay on the area until you get the colour coming in that you want. And we're just going from the top of the petal down into the middle. There we go. Now these Chameleon pens are brilliant. I would never call myself an artist or a colourist, but honestly having the Chameleon pens just makes it a bit of a cheat actually, because the pen does the hard work for you. As long as you know where to put the colours, you're laughing. And I don't know if the video is picking up or not, but even on a tissue you can see the gradations of colour. It's stunning. Again, I've blended too long, so you just stay in the one area and work your colour through. Now, the one thing I would say is if you are going to colour in a stamped image, always use a memento ink. That way it doesn't, the ink won't merge with the colours, it doesn't react with the alcohol ink. I don't know the science behind it, I just know that memento ink is the best for working with the Chameleon pens, or any other alcohol inks that any other alcohol pens that you have. Sure, this is the boring bit now, me colouring in these individually, but I'm sure once we get to the editing stage it'll be sped up for you, and I'm sure they'll do a really cool kind of sound effect or a music and have it all sped up and you'll see it complete. It just takes a minute or two. I'm just going to go in because I didn't blend with that one, just because I thought it'll give it a good difference in the colour range. I'm going to move to this ones because these are going to be darker petals underneath anyway, because that's where the light's not going to get to them as much. Getting there, last few petals to go, and then we'll move on to the leaves. I'm just going to stay with the dark colour because these leaves are behind, these petals are behind, so they won't be picking up as much of the light source anyway. Now I'm going to move on to green, and I think I'm going to go for, what colour of green? I'm going to go for dark sage, I think. Again, I'm going to use the bullet tip for this. And I'm just going to fuse for about 5 seconds. Now with this one, because the light source is going to be here, I'm going to start and do 1/2 of the leaf at a time. So I'm just going to go down the leaf from the middle. I'm going to blend again. And again, I'm just going to go from the middle out. Because this is a tissue that we're working with, you don't get the same, you can't rub it as much. You have to be, see, there we go, it does rip a little bit if you do it a bit too heavy-handedly, but it just gently does it. And we'll just continue to fill this leaf out. I've not got as much colour gradation there as I hoped for, but we'll try again on the next leaf. Still looks cool. So again, I'm actually gonna turn the tissue this time. trying to keep it on camera so you can see it, but there we go, that's the colour. Again, just gently does it, gradually working the colour out to the edges of the leaves. And you can see how it's all blended together. I'll move on to this leaf now. And again, I'll maybe flatten it out a bit, that'll maybe help. Gonna go from, there we go, into where the darker colours would be. Blend again for the other half. That's the trick, I think. If you've got a big area, do it in sections, because the pen blends together. You can always go back over it if you feel like you've missed a bit. There we go, that's quite cool. And I'm not going to bother blending the stock, I'm just going to go and colour it in as it is. And I think that's me done with the green. I'm going to move on and I'm going to use, I think I will use, what will I use? BR5, the bark for the centre piece. And I'm going to try it with the brush ink actually, the brush nib, and see if that gives us a smoother. I'm going to work from the centre out because you can see there's already natural shading in there with the stamp. So we'll blend for, let's see, around 6 seconds, and we'll go from, yeah, that's alright, the centre kind of out, and I'll blend again, and then this time I'll just go from here and then join it all up together. And it's BR5 I'm using, hope you can see that. Oops. Maybe not blended as much, I've maybe not clicked it on properly, but that's okay, that's all. Gives us a light source in the middle there. So now you've cut that out, what to do, now you've coloured it in, sorry, not cut it out, we're going to cut it out. So I'm just going to fussy cut round, you're never going to get in between this. So if we just fussy kind of go as close to the edge of the stamped image as you can. Sorry if I go off camera here, it's a bit difficult to cut to make sure you guys can see, so bear with. As I said, I'm not going right up to the edge because you want to, when you melt it onto the candle, you want an edge just to adhere to the candle. You don't want to lose the image. So I'll cut that away and make it. And obviously tissue paper is a bit harder to cut than cardstock or paper. It's not as rigid, so you just have to be a bit more patient. And obviously, because I'm on camera, it's not going to go smoothly, isn't it? Sod's law. There we go. Round the thank you. As I said, you don't have to go, get a little bit close, but you don't have to go right in. I'm not being too particular, I'm just going round nice and slowly. Make sure I don't cut any of the elements off. It wouldn't be the first time I've done that. There we go, I can cut that bit away, get rid of that. And then we go here. It's actually a lot harder than it looks to cut and talk at the same time. I take my hats off to all you demonstrators out there who are doing it live on TV. There we go. So that's what we're going to cut. Now we only want the top layer. If you look at that, you get quite a good secondary image. It's not as clear, but it's alright. So we're going to set that aside. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check, make sure you can still see. So what we're going to do is we're now going to take our candle and I'm going to place the tissue where I want it to be. And then I'm going to take my wax paper and I'm going to wrap it round. Okay. Hold it in place at the back. Smooth it out a bit, make sure we've got no creases. I'm going to heat my gun up just a little bit. Just to get started. You don't want to hold the heat on one area for too long because you will melt the mat. So just start from the edge. You'll see it kind of go shiny and start to turn. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. And then you just chase it round. It's a bit like if you're doing embossing powders. You just chase it round. I don't know if the camera, if I come a bit closer, will it pick it up? Maybe you just make it sharper. See how it starts to go shiny. There we go. So once you think you've got the whole area covered, like that, as I said, don't hold it on it too long. I always just give it a quick smooth, make sure, and then you remove the wax paper, and there you have your stamped image on your candle. I think that would be a fabulous gift to give to anybody